There is a simple process to make your business successful, and by the end of this video, you'll learn the 4 steps to break free of expensive shiny object syndrome, analysis paralysis, and getting buried in busy work forever. Success is not about having an amazing idea or being the most ambitious. You can have both and still end up procrastinating, losing focus, and feeling overwhelmed. But that same wiring that slows you down can be hacked to help you take massive action towards your goals. My name is Richie, and over the last 3 years, I've launched 2 projects that have each revenued 7 figures. In that time, I've also helped small to medium-sized businesses multiply their earnings and grow their sales by millions a year. Failing to launch or to take bold steps towards growing your business isn't some deep-rooted character flaw. Your brain is actually wired to compete and win under the right circumstances. Unfortunately, most people go through life allowing others who know how to trigger this process to exploit it for their own gain. Understanding what causes you to get stuck and how to fix it is the difference between only getting things done when you're pressured by somebody else's deadline and making huge advancements for your own business. You can see examples of it every day. If a client, your boss, or the government is holding you to a deadline, your brain fears the consequences of failure and can push through until you complete the task, no matter how uncomfortable. That can be frustrating to feel like the only time you get things done is when it's to the benefit of someone else. But it also means that your brain has a button that can be pushed that makes it easy to take massive action towards a goal, even when it's unpleasant or difficult. If you can figure out how to push it, you'll make your own business successful and your best ideas will become a reality. I'll tell you exactly how to trigger it. But first, let's go through the simple 4-step process that makes it all possible. The first step has to do with setting goals, but it's probably not what you're thinking. Big goals sound great and they're fun to talk about, but let's say you want to reach $100,000 in sales a month. Can you articulate how to get there in just 1 step? I worked with someone whose Facebook ads were exploding. Their return on ad spend was incredible, and all they had to do was take 1 action: raise their daily budget in order to grow from $50,000 a month to $300,000 in a month. They were 1 step away. On the other hand, if your business is nowhere close and you set some extremely ambitious goal based on a number or an idea you pulled from social media, you're probably setting yourself up for failure. There's nothing wrong with setting your sights on massive success. In fact, if you're doing it right, ambitious targets will give you direction, structure, and drive. The problem arises when you don't have enough information or momentum to achieve an objective and attach hard deadlines or sales numbers to them. This creates an artificial failure because you tried to reach a goal impossibly fast before you understood the variables. Instead, use massive goals as your long-term destination. It might sound crazy at first, but I don't commit to a timeline or a set number of steps for my biggest goals because until the target's close enough that I can create a plan for how to accomplish it, I would just be writing down an uninformed guess. Underneath the big goals are the medium-sized goals: launching an online retail store, creating a new product line, or building out a production facility. These are vehicles you choose based on the best information you have to move you towards your long-term ambitions. A good medium-sized goal will be a concrete set of objectives that you have complete control over, something where you don't have to worry about the outcome of other people's actions, only your own. But even these more tangible goals can be a trap. If your goal requires multiple steps, chances are some of those steps will create forks in the road. Subconsciously, your mind knows that there are variables you need to solve or things you may not even be aware of. That can lead to analysis paralysis, which leads me to the actual step 1. Set small, actionable goals or individual tasks for yourself. It's very simple, yet it can be difficult to let go of the big picture even for a second. But if you follow the process, you don't have to worry about how to hit your long-term target or how long it's going to take. All you have to do is commit to 1 action. There's an often repeated quote that says, if you take care of the minutes, the years will take care of themselves. The first few goals you set should be something that takes you an hour or less and has minimal moving parts. For instance, don't make your first goal to launch an online retail store or a new product line. Those are medium-sized goals with an entire chain of actions that could take days or weeks the first time you try to do it. Instead, pick 1 small action and set that as your goal. As you progress and start repeating actions until they become second nature, you may string together tasks into expanded day-long or multi-day-long goals. The purpose of step 1 is to take the weight of solving and achieving your medium and long-term goals off your shoulders and then narrow your field of vision down to a single forward-moving step. But that stress will come right back to crush you without step 2, and that's holding yourself accountable to follow through. Once you set a goal that's the right size and you complete it, you start to build confidence and momentum. It doesn't matter if your larger goal takes 300 steps when you thought it would only take 50. That was going to happen anyways. The difference is that you are advancing towards your goals and accomplishing something rather than being frozen at the starting line or feeling like a failure for realizing that you underestimated the challenge. Even when you create realistic objectives, it doesn't mean that it will be easy to actually follow through. A few years ago, I was working with someone who owned a custom apparel company. Across her several product lines, she was earning around $9,000 a month, but she was working 60 hours a week or more, maxing out the availability of her one employee and increasingly relying on her husband, who also had a full-time job, to step in and help. At first, she assumed that she was executing the process already. She had a mountain of small actions that she was being accountable to, but these were client deadlines, driving the wrong kind of motivation. At the end of each day, she was too spent to pursue her own goals. That's when I introduced her to step 3. After you set a goal and you complete it, take the time to reflect on it. Qualify that action and bring it into focus against the backdrop of your larger goals. Did that task move you towards accomplishing your larger objectives? Was it the best use of your time given what you know? Did you uncover a problem or learn something from it that can inform your future actions? See, she became so caught up with surviving client deadlines that she lost sight of her own goals. By taking a step back, she was able to spot a series of problems and inefficiencies in her business. Once she realized her time was consumed with the wrong stuff, she was able to choose the right actions. This is what makes step 3 so powerful. When you take the time to shrink your big goals into small actions, you make it easier to move forward. Initially, that means putting on blinders to all the potential issues, distractions, and unknowns you don't have the information or experience to handle. But when you take the time to reflect on each action, something incredible starts to happen. Analysis paralysis is the negative expression of your ability to reason. You lock up, trying to guess at a solution from a place of inaction and ignorance. Reflection allows you to spend time adding new information and experience to your plan already in motion. As you reflect, you'll become more sensitive to what is and isn't working. That will allow you to spot problems in your business that you can take action towards fixing and uncover new opportunities in the process. This also highlights the problem with trying to solve how to reach your massive goals too early. You may set a simple 1-hour goal and immediately run into an unexpected roadblock. If that can happen, imagine how much more likely it is that your medium or long-term targets with hundreds of small steps and unknowns are going to look completely different or require a completely adjusted approach compared to what you anticipated when you started out. That leads us to step 4. Sometimes your target is going to be a curveball. As you work through the first 3 steps, stay aware of the need to pivot and be ready to redirect your momentum. As you gain more information and experience, often you'll realize that what you thought your target was may require you to shift, or you'll spot an opportunity that will help you reach your big destination quicker. This agility to pivot into opportunities that come your way rather than putting your head down and only going in a straight line is the secret to finally achieving your dream goals. You may have set out with a long-term target of, let's say, $50,000 a month and a medium target of launching an online retail store as the vehicle to reach that goal. But as the market evolves and you start taking steps towards developing products that sell, you may spot more opportunities to launch your products on a social media platform instead. If you set your goals in stone, you'll miss huge opportunities that are a slight pivot away. I tried writing down, I earn X dollars a year every day in a journal, and it got me no closer to an actionable plan to make that happen. While reflecting helps you constantly improve your awareness of the situation, builds understanding, and helps you incorporate your experience, step 4 helps you constantly update your short, medium, and long-term goals as you go. As you repeat the process, you take the paralyzing fear of not making the right decision and you replace it with a series of smaller decisions, each based on new information, experience, and reflection you build from taking action. This process is a core part of getting larger sales. And if you don't have enough sales in your business or you want to go after bigger sales and clients, check out this video to see the entire sales system these 4 steps fit into.